Hello, everybody. This is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports, coming to you tonight after an edition of Friday Night SmackDown with my preview and predictions for WWE Payback on Sunday. Usually I don't do predictions or preview a pay-per-view, but two reasons I'm choosing to talk about Payback this Sunday, because number one, the following night on Monday Night Raw, it will be in my hometown of Grand Rapids, Michigan, Van Andel Arena. So I have a general interest in this pay-per-view already. And number two, I really think that this pay-per-view is going to shape up what the summer is going to be like in WWE. There are so many key matches and key things that are going to happen. Let me start off by talking about the Payback kickoff show, pre-show, whatever they want to title it. I'm really shocked that Sheamus is on it, because Sheamus has been a main eventer for quite a while now, and it's always been in the main event scene. But he will be taking on Damien Sandow, and what really bothers me about this being a pre-show match is this match has had more build-up than some of the other matches on the main card, so I would have really have liked to seen this as a pay-per-view match, because Damien Sandow, to my knowledge, has not really had a one-on-one singles match on a pay-per-view in quite some time. And Damien Sandow is a very accomplished wrestler, and as I said, Sheamus has been in the main event scene for well over the last, 2 to 3 years now. So, with all that being said, I think Sheamus will probably win the match. It's kind of a foregone conclusion. Sheamus already being on the pre-show is bad enough, but I think having him lose on the pre-show would kind of derail any steam he might have or could have in the future. So I look for Sheamus to beat Damien Sandow on the preview show leading into Payback. Now, the one match that I'm looking most forward to for personal reasons is the Intercontinental Championship match. Originally, it was supposed to be Wade Barrett versus The Miz versus Fandango. Fandango suffered a concussion, was not cleared to wrestle, and subsequently got replaced. And he is being replaced by the Paul Heyman guy, Curtis Axel. And for personal reasons, I really hope Curtis Axel wins the Intercontinental title. Because number one, it's Father's Day, and what better tribute to his late father, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, than winning the title that his father made so prestigious and made so legendary. I mean, if you look back at Mr. Perfect's reigns as Intercontinental title, he had some classic matches with Bret Hart, Jimmy Snuka, Tito Santana, Texas Tornado. I mean, the list goes on. So I am predicting, just out of personal preference, out of personal just a liking of Curtis Axel. I mean, I was a huge fan of Mr. Perfect. Everybody that knows me as a wrestling fan knows that. So I am predicting Curtis Axel to win the WWE Intercontinental title this Sunday, which will probably ultimately lead to Fandango turning face of some sorts and feuding against Curtis in the near future. On to another title match. And this match, I don't get too excited about Diva title matches, but the fact that Caitlyn and AJ has, it's built up over the last probably year and a half. They started off on NXT together 2 years ago. They kind of worked their way up the ranks in WWE. Caitlyn has developed into one hell of a wrestler. I think Caitlyn's got a lot of ability. She kind of reminds me a little bit of Beth Phoenix, just the way she's built and everything. And that's a good thing, because I think Beth Phoenix was, a beautiful lady. A lot of people think that these, stocky or built girls aren't beautiful. Well, to me, girls like, Beth Phoenix and Caitlyn are just as beautiful as the skinny little twigs they got running out there. But Caitlyn versus AJ has probably been the most intriguing Divas storyline since Lita and Trish. And I know a lot of people might get offended by that because Lita and Trish did some great work together in their time in WWE, but I really, truly believe that Caitlyn and AJ are going to have somewhat the same type of chemistry that Lita and Trish did. And I think it's going to be really wonderful to see over the next few years how it plays out, because I don't think this is a one-time match or a one-time run and it's all over. I think these girls are going to be fighting against each other, fighting together against other divas for years to come, and I think you'll really see the chemistry play out with the two of them. So I'm really, really looking forward to the Divas title match. The next match, man, there's a lot of title matches on this card. I think every title is defended this Sunday. The United States title, Dean Ambrose versus Kane, and I'll also tie in Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan, because it kind of all goes hand in hand. On SmackDown, I was really shocked to see the Shield lose for the first time against Orton, Bryan, and Kane. I really thought they should have saved it for a pay-per-view, but at the same time, as someone a little bit more knowledgeable put it, sometimes it's a good thing to have shockers like that on TV, because it gives that show a boost, because you don't see a lot of shocking things happen on SmackDown anymore. Let's face it, spoilers obviously get out, and people obviously know what's going to happen before Friday ever comes around. But it was really, really nice to see something a little bit more exciting. The crowd, I cannot tell you how frantic and crazy the crowds have been for Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, he's been in the tag team for going on a year now with Kane. Obviously now he's teaming with Orton a little bit, but I'll say this. I see Dean Ambrose retaining the United States title, and I do see Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns retaining the tag titles. And when this is all said and done, I think you'll see Orton, Kane, and Bryan all go back to being singles competitors. But out of the three, I really, really think that Daniel Bryan is in another planet right now. I said something to a friend the other night that he might very well be the next showstopper. I mean, he was trained by Shawn Michaels and William Regal, so that already, I mean, both great competitors in their own different way. And even though William Regal doesn't get a lot of credit that he does, Daniel Bryan does use a little bit of William Regal's style when he's in the ring. But I mean, there are so many things about Daniel Bryan right now. I mean, just the way he moves in the ring. It's almost like WWE is saying to him, do what you did in Ring of Honor. Use that pace that you used in Ring of Honor. Because Ring of Honor, the Ring of Honor stuff is what made him. The Ring of Honor stuff is what brought him to the dance. And, Daniel Bryan, I mean, I always remember him as Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, because I followed him long before, he became the WWE version of what he is now. But I see Daniel Bryan being WWE champion again by the end of the year, or World Heavyweight champion. The fans are behind him. The fans are just nuts, crazy. I mean, I have not seen a reaction for a superstar like this in quite a while. And quite frankly, he was getting a better reaction now. He's getting a better reaction now than CM Punk was when CM Punk was hot. And that's saying a lot, because CM Punk, when he delivered that pipe bomb and he had his run, 2 years ago with, winning the title, losing the title, winning the title back again and holding it for 434 days. he got a great reception, but I have not seen the fans get that frantic for somebody in a long time. So I see the Shield keeping all the titles. I see them doing their thing still. But like I said, the thing that I think that comes out of Payback is that you see Daniel Bryan go out on his own and become one of the all-time greats in terms of performing singles matches. So that's my take on those two title matches. One last title, there's two more title matches, but I want to focus on the World Heavyweight Championship. Dolph Ziggler's been out of action for a month. Came back on Friday and lost a tag match to Del Rio and Jericho. I don't know what they're going to do with Dolph Ziggler. Sometimes when you get injured and you take a month off or have to take a month off, like Dolph did, sometimes they just they punish you sometimes because they don't know if you're reliable. Obviously, they did not do that with CM Punk. CM Punk was obviously reliable in the end, even though he did get injured. He did fight through it, and they got to give him the utmost respect and credit for that. But we don't know. I mean, Dolph's title reign really never really even got going. Because, I mean, he wrestled for 2 weeks as champion and he got injured, and then he's been out since. So I will be curious to see if Del Rio recaptures the title, because Del Rio's been very reliable, very good in the ring, having some really stellar matches with some stellar opponents. But it's a toss-up for me, because like I said, Ziggler's been out so long, and his momentum as the World Heavyweight Champion it kind of got killed. So either one, they're going to make him start all over and have him drop the title, or two, they're going to have him beat Del Rio and try and get some momentum back and have him have a really good, successful World Heavyweight title reign. So that's kind of my feeling on it. So now, being that Payback is in Chicago, what would Payback be like without CM Punk? And this match, I gotta tell you, I'm happy to see CM Punk back. Most of you know I'm a huge CM Punk fan. He's kind of like this, he's this generation for me. Hogan was my childhood generation. Shawn Michaels was my teenage generation. And I guess you'd have to say CM Punk, and now Curtis Axel, obviously. Now that he's actually getting TV time. CM Punk and Curtis Axel are my adult generation, and I love CM Punk. Most of you know I have been following CM Punk's career long before his WWE days, and to see what he's done in the WWE, becoming the longest reigning WWE champion in the last 20 plus years, taking out all-comers, working through injuries, being man enough to drop the title to The Rock even though he shouldn't have. Because in a lot of situations, I could say, I honestly, and I'll tell you right now, if I was in CM Punk's shoes, I would have bitched and bitched and bitched about being the one that had to drop the title to The Rock, because, there's a lot of other guys out there that deserve that title, that deserved to beat CM Punk. A lot of guys that put in a great effort every night, and I really hope, when Punk gets back and gets rolling, I hope he gets rewarded, and I hope he becomes WWE champion again down the line. So, Chris Jericho, a lot of people think he's turning heel. I'm not quite sure about that. Obviously, he's going to be the natural heel because he's in Chicago and CM Punk's hometown. One person told me their twist on it is they could see Paul Heyman turning on CM Punk to align himself with Jericho. And that story kind of makes sense because a lot of people don't realize Chris Jericho is an original Paul Heyman guy, because Paul Heyman is the one that gave Chris Jericho his first break in the United States And I believe Chris Jericho's first ever title in the United States was the ECW television title. So I could very, very well see that viewpoint. But the other viewpoint I could see also is the next night on Raw after CM Punk has defeated Chris Jericho. I could see CM Punk kicking Paul Heyman to the curb for making a match on his behalf and forcing him to come back when he really didn't want to. So that's going to be an interesting match. I really think that CM Punk would win. It would be suicide if Jericho beat Punk in Chicago. I could see crowds rioting like they've threatened to do before. But CM Punk is back, and he's going to prove he's the best in the world again, and that's all I'm going to say about it. CM Punk will win in Chicago, so I'm looking forward to that. But the one match I'm really not looking forward to is the main event. John Cena versus Ryback, and John Cena cannot have a good match with this guy. I mean, Ryback has great matches when he's in there with the right opponent. Maybe you guys saw it, maybe you didn't, but there was a couple weeks ago when he fought Daniel Bryan. They had a classic match because Daniel Bryan made it that way. John Cena used to have classic matches with Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels made it that way, but you're not going to see any flash in the pan type stuff. You're not going to see any crazy top rope moves or any risk-taking moves from these two. Putting two big guys in there that only have 5 moves to their name, not a good idea. But I guess that's what the stipulations are for. This is a no-brainer. John Cena is going to wind up retaining the WWE title. It's just a foregone conclusion. Ryback, I love his mic skills. That's one thing I've been impressed with, is his mic skills have gotten a lot better since he's turned heel in the last month or so. But I do not see Ryback being ready to be WWE champion just yet. I think he needs to have some more opponents. All the guys that Ryback has faced, on a regular basis have, one, been either jobbers, or two, big muscle men that really can't carry a match either. I mean, no offense to guys like Mark Henry and John Cena, but like I said, I don't think they can carry a match as well as guys like a Randy Orton or Daniel Bryan, or even when Shawn Michaels was there. So I really think that Ryback needs to work with some better talent. John Cena, don't get me wrong, I respect what John Cena does for the business. I respect that he does all the stuff he does outside the ring. But John Cena's time is not now. It's done. Okay, John Cena was 10 years ago. Okay? It's time for the younger guys to get the spotlight. And don't get me wrong, I am so happy that guys like The Shield and Dolph Ziggler and Curtis Axel are getting, the TV time that they're getting. But what about other guys out there like Antonio Cesaro and Damien Sandow and Cody Rhodes? And for God's sakes, where's Ted DiBiase been? It's guys like those that you need to push for the future. You need to start molding them for the future. And even though they're sick and twisted, the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt, and his guys, they're all still very young, still going to be very easy to push them once they get on TV. But there are so many young guys out there that I believe that could hold the WWE Championship if given the right opportunity. If you ask me a year from now, do I think any member of the Shield could be WWE champion? You damn right, I think so. A year from now, do I think Curtis Axel, or Antonio Cesaro or Wade Barrett could be WWE World Heavyweight Champion? You damn right I do. And that's what they need to be doing. They did it right with Sheamus. a few years ago. Sheamus had only been on television for 6 to 8 months, and he shocked the world by beating Cena. And that's the type of stuff that needs to start happening again. Because, don't get me wrong, John Cena, yeah, he'll be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Some might consider him a legend now. But John Cena has run its course just like Hulkamania did. So, yes, I predict John Cena to win. I don't know who they're going to have him feud with heading into SummerSlam. Some reports have come out saying, Daniel Bryan. If that's true, it's going to be one hell of a match because Daniel Bryan knows how to perform. So, that's kind of my preview and predictions for Payback. Make sure you check out the website Sunday night or Monday morning. I usually do a recap and review of all the WWE and TNA pay-per-views whenever I watch them. Obviously, I'll probably have reports and pictures from this Monday on Monday Night Raw. Like I said, emanating from Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, Michigan, my hometown. So, with that being said, as always, this is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports, your source for all things sports. And remember, controversy doesn't come without criticism, and sometimes it comes with a little payback too. So guys, have a good night, and God bless, and have a good one.